So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, Dan here from Zephyr War Games, bringing you Michael's pure 6 Sam profile. Now you guys requested this, so we thought it would only right that we get this done. He took it to locals today and did incredibly well. I believe he drew one and lost one out of 5 rounds. And they were against, what were they against, Michael?
My matchups?
Yeah.
My round one was very tricky indeed. It was
Romade. That's not sarcasm tricky, actually it's tricky because they just sit there going, gain 1,000 life points.
Then it was, which was a win. Then it was Dino Shadol, which was a win. Then Fluffle, which was a draw.
Fluffle OTK, bro.
Which was a draw because of time, went to game 3 and then time was called. Then, Madolce, which was a loss. Shout out to Donald for that. And then Orcus Lunalight, which was a win.
Cool. So before we get into the profile, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share. So let's get started with a pure 6 Sam profile.
Alright, so first up in the monster lineup, playing 2 copies of Fuma. This is the only 6 Sam tuner I'm playing in the deck. I just feel like it's the only one you really need. Gives you access to all your synchros, and its throwing ability is quite good. That did come up today, and yeah, great card. So playing 2 of that. Then of course, what 6 Sam deck would be complete without Kizan? Naturally playing 3 of this, loop it like crazy all day. Yeah, great card. Shush. Then I'm playing 2 copies of Mizuho and 1 copy of Shinai. A lot of people think you need 2 and 2 to make the loop, but you actually only need 1 Shinai and 2 copies of Mizuho. And I really love these cards that came up many times today, and just brilliant for amassing many counters. So great cards right there. The next up is a few for the rest of the 6 I mentioned, just a few one-offs. 1 Kageki. I was only playing 1 just because I had to cut so many cards from the deck just to make room for combo pieces and things like that. So I just felt like 1 was enough. And of course it does hurt if it gets impermanence or valence, so just the 1 of that. 1 Hatsume, just again backup plan essentially, just to recur and revive a few things. 1 Kizaru, essentially just there to search out the red and blue, Mizuho and Shinai. And 1 copy of Grandmaster. So that's it for the 6 Sam engine. Then for hand traps, playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom. I still feel like if this card's necessary, I see a few people just cutting this completely, like main deck and side deck. I don't really know why. It's still Ash, it still stops so many cards, so I still think it's worth putting in the main deck. And to round up the monsters, playing 3 of the Rock. This is just to give me a good going second play, just great to out problem monsters and things like that. So 3 of that. That's it for the monster lineup. Moving on to spells. 3 copies of Smoke Signal. Again, just to search out your combo pieces, Mizuho, Shinai, etc. And then next is a one-of, but it's quite a popular one-of. Gateway. The games today where I opened with this card, I won. It's just a ridiculous card. And the fact that it's searchable now is absolutely ridiculous. 1 copy of United. I'm only playing 1 because, unlike some of the other continuous spells for 6 Sams, this can only hold a maximum of 2 counters. And I felt like that was quite a hindrance because you want to start looping, you want to get as many counters as possible. So unlike other spells in the deck, this can only hold 2. So I felt like only 1 copy was enough. And there is an additional draw engine in this deck, which you'll see in a bit. So only playing the 1 of that. 3 copies of Doja. Absolutely love this card. Brilliant being able to just amass so many counters. For those of you who don't know, there is no limit to how many counters this can amass, similar to Gateway. And then at the end of your combo, you just summon the last piece from your deck, and just brilliant. Then 3 copies of Temple. A lot of people may be unfamiliar with this. This is another 6 Sam card, but this is actually a field spell that can amass counters. Then your opponent loses 100 attack for every 6 Sam counter, Bushido counter on this card. And yeah, just great for collecting those counters. And there was one game where I just collected so many counters on here, which my opponent was just playing with nothing but 0 attack monsters. And yeah, it was just great. So wonderful card. Then 3 copies of Call by the Grave. It's very sad when Shogun gets ashed. So naturally you want all your plays to go through, so playing 3 of this. Pretty self-explanatory. Moving on to the other spells I'm playing, and this is where the second draw engine comes in. I'm playing 1 Broken Bamboo Sword, 2 Cursed Bamboo Swords, and 3 Golden Bamboo Swords. And this is the extra engine I was adding in the deck. Because of Isolde, I'm able to search out whatever piece I'm missing, be it the equip card or the draw spell. This just allows you to amass so much advantage and collect so many combo pieces from your deck, and just wonderful. So, really great card, really great engine, really love going through it. And yeah, put in a lot of work today, especially drawing into these off of Skull Dread once you already had your equip spell. Wonderful feeling. And then the rest of the deck is just one-offs. Of course, Rota, Monster Reborn, World Legacy Succession, and Terraforming to grab the Temple of the Six. I'll get on to why I'm playing this card, and the reason for Monster Reborn is just recur, and also play around Nibiru and things like that. So that's it for the main deck. It's 42 cards, I believe. Now on to the extra deck. I'll start with Synchros first, playing the headliner, of course. 1 copy of Shien. If I had more of them, I would play 2 copies because I do absolutely love this card, but I've only got the room for 1, so just the 1. But did put in some work today. Great card. 1 copy of Ib. Ib's how I search out World Legacy Succession, and it's a great combo piece. And through Ib and with, I don't know, Mizuho or Shinai, it allows me to go into this guy. Savage Dragon. And it's just great for getting back like an Isolde or a one of my Lig 4s I've gone through. And great for just setting up that big first turn board. I'm not playing the FTK version, I'm just going for break my board kind of setup. Or OTK, basically, if I'm going first or second. And the last of the Synchros is 1 Herald. Just another monster to put on the board, easy to make with one of the level 3s and Fuma. It's another body to sit on. That's it for Synchros. Then moving on to XYZs. Playing 1 number 60, Digores. Really like this card. It's another way to draw into combo pieces. It's got that draw effect. Can also revive from the grave, so that helps if maybe you've used a Fuma to make your Shogun and you want to get it back, perhaps. So that's really good. You've got to bear in mind whatever effect you're using, it does have repercussions later on. But most of the time you're just going to win that turn, hopefully. So got that. 1 copy of Dweller. Again, just help build up that first turn board. This put in a lot of work today, shutting down opponents' combos, so great card. 1 copy of Six Samurai Shien. Now, a lot of people will be surprised by this, but this is actually very, very useful because this is how I play around Nibiru. And the idea is that I go for this as my, I don't know if it's my 5th summon, but it's one of my summons, and by then I haven't put anything threatening on the board. There's no reason for my opponent to Nibiru me. I go into this, and after I successfully go into this, I'm now safe from Nibiru, because they can hit me at any time, it's fine. And then I just go and use Gateway to revive this. I've now got a 6 Sam on board, and I can continue my combos. So that's how I've been using it to play around Nibiru. It didn't actually come up today, but that's what it was there for. But it's also just a nice body to have on board. And the last of the XYZs is Cowboy. And this is just, if I happen to go into time, there is still a way to burn through the opponent, because obviously the combos do take some time. So there is still a way to get to game through that. Moving on to the links. Of course, the latest addition to the 6 Sam family, Battle Shogun. For those of you who don't know, this is the huge mistake by Konami, in my opinion, but basically what it does is once you go into it, you can discard a card, grab any card, I think, which can collect Bushido counters, such as Gateway, and then from there you just combo off. If you happen to also summon your 6 Samurais to a zone heat points to, he also collects counters, so that's brilliant for using Gateway Search effect or Graveyard Retrieval effect. That's just great for getting to your combo pieces. Absolutely wonderful card, and it put in a lot of work today. And I love having 2 copies because there was one situation where the first one got ashed, and then I just went into the second one the next turn, and just got Gateway and just went from there. It's great. 1 copy of Isolde. I feel like only one's really needed. I rarely use the first effect to search out Warrior, unless I'm lacking combo pieces to pitch for Shogun. But the second effect's what I really use for, just to send one of the Cursed Bamboo Sword to summon a Fuma, and then that just starts your combos quite fast, and also gets another name on board, so really good. 1 Unicorn. It's just to answer threats on the board, and yeah, pretty much just to answer threats. Just combo off from there. Then for the Link 4s, 1 Skull Dread. This is one of the cards I need for the combos, just to search through to draw cards and then put them back. There is a way to go into this, even through the traditional combos we were posting earlier in the week. So it did put in a lot of work today, so great having that. 1 copy of Boral Sword. In the scenario where I'm going second, this is how I would OTK. And great card, nothing much needs to be said about that. And the last of the Link Force is 1 Abomination. Wasn't too sure about this today, but it put in some serious work in my Dino Shadol matchup. It really helped out a lot. And if I had an Appaloosa, I'd probably play over this, but regardless, this put in some serious work today. So it's really good having that. And I should also mention that through Mizuho popping cards, you can also trigger him and have him pop cards as well, so really good.
2 for the price of 1.
Exactly.
Okay, so a couple of quick questions.
Yep.
What is your plan of getting to Shogun first turn? Because I might have missed something, but you see that you only have 1 Kageki.
So, in order to play the Bamboo engine and a few other things like the Nibiru's, etc., I was forced to cut down the Shi Energy, the 6 Samurai engine. But there are just so many ways to get to the two 6 Sams you need on board. Obviously, you play the Grandmaster, 3 Kizan. 1 Kageki, there's 3 smoke signals, so you can search out that 1 Kageki if you want. And then, obviously, Mizuho Shinai, they can summon each other. They can summon each. You can summon one after the other. And it never really came up today. Obviously, my standard combo is to go into Isolde first, and Isolde into Fuma, and then both of those then go into Shogun. And it was never really an issue where I couldn't make Shogun.
Okay. I think it's a very, very fun day. I mean, we've all seen what it can actually do in the matchups, and
of course you've got Dojo as well to summon from deck if it really comes to that.
If it all goes Pete Tong. Yeah, definitely. I think it's very, very nice to kind of have this deck back to the way it is. And a nice kind of powerful deck that can play around with it. And the Link monster is probably one of the best Link monsters for a specific deck that I've seen in a long, long time. So when you look at all the other Link 2s that we've had in Link Vrain sets from here on, and you're looking at stuff like Needle Fiber, and they're all kind of generic beasts and boosts for the deck, whereas being able to search Gateway, one of the most powerful spells for a specific deck in the game, is insane and very, very cool to have. So that is obviously Michael's 6 Sam Pure profile, as requested, and it does follow on from the combo that we showed earlier in the week. If you do have any questions, please put them down in the comments below, and we'll be more than happy to answer them for you. But for now, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and as always, guys,
Happy darling!